win the championship. And despite that, they have the fourth shortest odds to win it all again next year. That's according to DraftKings Sportsbook. You see the Spurs are slight favorites over the Thunder. Celtics also slightly shorter odds. Those are the only four teams shorter than 25-1. Circling back to the Knicks being fourth favorites, that got Big Perk big mad.
It just goes to show me that the world still don't respect the greatness of Big Body Brunson. They still can't believe that they just witnessed a 6'1", 6'2" guy that plays below the rim tear the league up this entire postseason and had one of the greatest runs in NBA history. It is disrespectful.
That is very interesting to me because disrespectful implies placing him below, in your opinion, where he actually belongs. And where he belongs in the pantheon of the best players in the league is a very interesting question. Do you believe, Vincenzo, that Big Body Brunson is disrespected?
Disrespect implies intent, right? We have to be very careful, Jason and Greeny, about our words on here, because sometimes they'll be misappropriated by the masses. I do think that Jalen Brunson deserves the modicum of respect that champions get. When you're fourth after winning the way that they ran through the league, I'm not with that. The Celtics, they beat the Celtics in the playoffs with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum got hurt late in the series, but they were up 3-1 in that series, and they've only gotten better. The Celtics have not gotten better. We've seen, San Antonio, I'm with you on that. But when you're the champion, you deserve the right to be the favorite until someone knocks you off, until there's a significant personnel move that says, I will put you above the Knicks. I cannot say that. The Knicks are the champions. They deserve that respect. Jalen Brunson, as the best clutch player in the league, deserves that respect until proven otherwise.
I mean, if you're a Knicks fan, isn't this great? Do you want to be the favorite? Why do you want to be the favorite? Why don't you want all this disrespect? Isn't this exactly what you would want, coming off winning a championship, to be fourth in the odds? Oh, you don't believe in Big Body Brunson again. You don't believe in our continuity. You don't believe in Karl Anthony Towns. You don't believe in those picks from Mikal Bridges. If you're a Knicks fan, if you're a Knick, if Rick Brunson has done this his whole life, even when he went on TNT after the show, he was like, I think Patrick Ewing is the greatest Knick of all time. I love you, son. Like, these are the things you want if you're a championship team, when people believe that your championship run wasn't as good as the consistency of the year. They came in third place in the East. This is what you want. You're welcome.
So there were two separate things at play here. Are the Knicks being disrespected, which I think is an interesting question. And the reality is, if that series was played over again right now, having already watched it, and the league just said, you know what, that was so good, the ratings were so good, we're just going to do it again. We're going to play another best of 7, starting in San Antonio, everything else starting from equal. The Spurs would be favored. That's what would happen. The Spurs would be the favorites. The Knicks might very well win it in 5 again, but that's the way it would go. These things aren't about, DraftKings doesn't care who they're respecting or disrespecting. They're trying to base this on what people would bet on. So I think that's less interesting than the Jalen Brunson piece. So when you win the championship and you're clearly the best player on the championship team, you're supposed to be afforded the respect of being now you're the guy. Like, the league runs through. Is Jalen Brunson viewed as that guy in the league right now?
I think basketball purists view him as that guy. I think the world views them as having an historic Villanova March Madness-like run. It's one of the most miraculous stories. They didn't deal with any injuries, right? Jalen Brunson had a prolific type of performance. Now, I believe he is being disrespected, but because of the run that they've come on, and because people don't believe they didn't play against the best of the best teams when they were available.
I think what we do is we tend to make it more simple than what it is. This was a great team, the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Not just Jalen Brunson, but Karl Anthony Towns played the best all-around basketball of his career. You're talking about a #1 pick that might be the most unique big we've ever seen. Then you add in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart. 3 rugged, defensive-minded wings. OG Anunoby had one of the best series of his life, so I don't want to just pare it down to Jalen Brunson's singular excellence and then disregard everything else that went into play, because it took all of that to win 13 straight games, to blow through the Eastern Conference. You can't apologize for what the Celtics did, what Detroit didn't do. You can't apologize for your road. You can't apologize for Oklahoma City not being there. And you can't apologize for every team going through 7 games before they're playing you because you took care of your business and they didn't. But what we don't have to do is say, okay, Jalen Brunson's the best player in the league. Like that's where the discussion is trending. You can say he's the player you want the ball in his hands more than anybody else in the last 5 minutes when it matters. And that to me is more than enough.
Like I still feel like if you gave me a choice, you're like, Jay, do you want Cade Cunningham or do you want Jalen Brunson? Like, I'm taking Cade. Like you say SGA or Jalen Brunson, like I'm gonna say SGA. It doesn't mean I don't want Jalen Brunson when it comes time for closing time down the stretch. Because I think he's the best probably in the league at that. But for a full season, with the way he plays, I like these.
Those two guys were first team All-NBA, right? Those two guys plus Wembanyama, Jokic, and I'm trying to think who else. I'm trying to think of the other people who were first team All-NBA ahead of him. Jalen Brown was second team.
Yeah, it was Jokic. It was Jokic, Victor, Shea.
They play next. We're less than a week away from the Bucks' self-imposed deadline of the NBA draft for a Giannis trade. Did you hear Michael Wilbon on PTI yesterday expressing his doubts on Giannis?
I don't believe in Giannis anymore. Giannis is a rumor. Giannis hadn't done jack in the months that matter, which would be May and June since 2021. A league can now, particularly the NBA, it can pass you by. And with a ton of wings who are 6'9", 6'10" sort of size, DeBanza and Caleb Wilson and those kids coming in the league, Giannis can look obsolete fairly quickly if he can't get his butt out there and contribute heavily, massively in May, June. And I don't know that. I would not rearrange my franchise for Giannis.
That's what I've been trying to say for several days, and he just said it better than I can, which is why he's in the Hall of Fame. That's Jay Will. That's Vincenzo, Vinny Goodwill. Do you agree with what Wilbon just said about Giannis?
I'm mad because I was just talking to Mike yesterday, and he didn't tell me that. I would vehemently disagree with him. I don't think you have to rearrange your franchise for Giannis. I think there is context that matter when a player is in an organization where they don't see eye to eye anymore. We've seen this happen multiple times with players and how they handle that stress. I do think Giannis will be better utilized when he has strong leadership, starting from a head coach and starting from a front office. And I think that has diminished. I'm not going to diminish Giannis's 50-point closeout game in an NBA championship and all of a sudden say this guy doesn't have it anymore.
It's 5 years ago, though. I mean, no one is diminishing what he was. The question is he still?
Did you see the numbers this year?
The numbers this year, but
he got hurt.
He's hurt.
He got hurt.
He's gotten hurt a lot in recent years. He's played
85% of his career games.
Yeah, I understand that, but most of those 15% have been lately, and that's the point. Vinny, go.
I think, with all due respect to Michael Wilbon, the Hall of Famer.
This is going to be bad.
No, it's not. No,
Okay.
it's not. No, it's not.
Go
I
ahead.
love Wilbon. I would, if I'm the Boston Celtics and I haven't won a championship in a couple of years and I've been shooting all these threes, bringing Giannis in, if I can fit him into what I do, I think that would be the perfect sort of fit. Now, granted, we've seen the big trades that happen over the past few years. It takes a year for you to get your stuff together. It takes a year for you to lose, and then you go off like a rocket. Karl Anthony Towns, it took a year for the Knicks to figure that stuff out with him. Do you have 2 years with Giannis? I say you have 3 with Giannis at this level. He's 31 right now. The miles are starting to add up. Kevin Garnett is the person I always use as the comparison, but I think for the Celtics, he's worth the risk.
So blowing up the roster, to me, trading Jalen Brown is blowing up the roster. I mean, he's an all-NBA player. So I'm going to ask it to you from both sides, Jay. If you're the Bucks, and there might be other machinations in this, there might be other teams
there
involved.
Has to be, yes, so
but
if
the bottom line of it is Jalen Brown for Giannis, if you're the Bucks, do you do it? If you're the Celtics, do you do it?
I think if you're the Bucks and you're looking at, it depends what you want. If Horace and Jimmy Haslam want more trade assets, you bring in a third team. If you want, considering all the changes we just had where you can't bottom out anymore due to all the changes with the draft, then I think you get a guy like Jalen Brown. I will say, though, if you're the Boston Celtics, to Vinny's point, changing up the style in which you play. We just had Reggie Miller on yesterday talking about you can't take 53 threes in the game.
Right.
It's one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. Bringing Giannis in as a rim protector and as somebody that can drive downhill with the right personnel. People can't tell me who played for the Boston Celtics this year, and they came in second place in Eastern Conference.
Right.
Kudos to Jaylen Brown for getting them there, but Brad Stevens and Joe have a proclivity for bringing the right ancillary pieces around the margin to help alleviate a player like Jason Tatum and Giannis if they play in the same team.
My thing is this: if you're the Bucks, nobody wants to bottom out in the NBA anymore because the draft lottery